Let's do some more snap reactions to Jet Burn card reveals. Today I have Bakugo 4 revealed by Experience Rick and Hood Nomu revealed by MCole40. Please go and watch those official reveal videos if you have not already, but I'm going to be going through each card and grading them anywhere from a C- to an A+. So far we've had no cards in the C- category, and we've only had one card in the A+ category, Jet Burn Hellspider, I believe, from Endeavor 3's kit. Okay, let's jump right into it. Bakugo 4. He gets to discard a card from his card pool, and if it's your turn, your rival discards a card. Very, very strong. So after your first block, all of your blocks basically, all of your rival attacks get -1 speed because you got to discard a card from your card pool. And on your turn, you get to clear one and then force your rival to discard. So your rival's going to be forced to keep at least like 3 or 4 cards in their hand going into your turn. And he's, anyway, response after your Fury attack receives a damage penalty. It gets +3 damage. So you can kind of protect yourself against your rival giving penalties, and you can purposely give yourself damage penalties so that you get an increase in damage. Very, very neat character. I'm going to go ahead and give him an A-. I think he's pretty darn strong. It should note that on that response that a damage penalty doesn't mean damage reset. Those are different things in the game. So like he doesn't work against Nomu, or if you're like a You're So Obvious or something like that. He's not going to work against those. But a very, very interesting character. It finally gives us a Void character that fully leans into this discard strategy, which brings us to his ultra rare. It's a 2-check, 5 mid 5. Discard 1 Fury attack from your card pool. Your rival discards 1 card. Very, very neat. But you do have to play this as your second attack if you want that ability. So you're playing a 2-check on a 6. That's going to feel really bad. And then it gets 1A enhanced, flip 1 foundation. This attack gets +1 to all its keyword ratings, and it has powerful 2 and stun 1. Of course, you can give it additional stun 1s with like snack time and villainous entrance, and then flip and give all of those an extra +1 to its stun rating. Very, very neat interaction there. While I like this card, I'm going to give it a B, and that's simply because the stats don't justify it being a 2-check. You have to play this 2-check on a 6. It's only a 5 mid 5. I wish they would have taken the stats up on this card a little bit, like a 6 mid 6 or something along those lines. It's just not doing it for me here. When I play a 2-check in my deck, I want it to be awesome stats and have an awesome effect, not just one or the other. One or the other is fine if it's a 3-check, but a 2-check, it's going to be a high deck building cost. For that reason, I don't think it's going to see a lot of play. All right, Rabble Rousing, 3 high 5. When it leaves your card pool during the combat phase, your rival loses 2 health. And of course, we're going to get that with Bakugo. And then it says, response after you play this card, attacks get -1 damage this turn, which means that all of your attacks get +2 damage. Very, very good in Bakugo. Not very good in anybody. Pretty terrible in everybody else. These two videos, both Hood Nomu and Bakugo, are going to be very, very hard to do because when I grade the cards, I'm grading them looking at the game as a whole, not just this character. Because Rabble Rousing is, of course, very, very strong in Bakugo 4 just to get +2 damage on everything. But I'm going to give it a B- because I think it's pretty unplayable by just about everybody else in the game. I mean, it is useful on defense too, but -1 damage probably isn't going to save you. I say that, but a lot of games end on somebody on 1 damage. But yeah, that's my ranking for Rabble Rousing. If you're Bakugo 4, you're going to love this card. It's a B- because I'm thinking about everybody here. A 5 difficulty Angry Yelling, 4 mid 5, bad stats, stun 1, so it's basically 5 mid 5. Okay, that's fine. Enhance, if your rival has 4 or more cards in their hand, they discard 1 card. Okay. This attack gets -1 damage. If it's blocked, draw 1 card. So it's basically a 4 mid 7, and you get to draw if it's blocked. I actually really don't like this card. I'm putting it in the C tier. I'm not even sure Bakugo 4 would run this card. In fact, I'm quite positive he wouldn't. Yeah, it's a 5 difficulty attack. You really have to have a strong effect to make it as a 5 difficulty attack. And the fact that the draw is gated to only if it's blocked, and then the discard card is also gated to having 4 more cards. There's too much gated effects here. The stats aren't worth it. I'm not going to be playing this card. 4 difficulty attack, Irate Sky. Wow, Irate Scowl. Too low 5. If a card's left your card pool this turn, it gets 3 speed, -1 damage. Could be used by Bakugo 1 as well. I guess in Bakugo 1 it would be like a 5 low 6 after you use your character. Or be 5 low 4. Still not great. Enhance if your rival has 2 or less cards in their hand, draw 1 card. That's probably going to be an easier draw than the last attack, but once again, the draw 1 card is gated behind an effect. And who else other than like Bakugo is going to want +3 speed and -1 damage? You know, it's going to be consistently using that top enhance. I just really don't see it. In Bakugo 4, this is a good card, right? In Bakugo 4, it's a 5 low 7, which is really good stats on a 4 diff, and then you can possibly draw. So in Bakugo 4, I can see this finding play, and pretty much anybody else in the game, I don't see it finding play. I'm giving it B- to be nice, though. All right, 2 difficulty foundation, bring it on. Commit after your rival adds a card to their hand to their non-character effect. They discard 1 card. Can only be played once that turn. Okay, that is interesting. That's strong, but not extremely strong. 1A enhance, flip. This attack gets +1 damage for each card that has left your card pool this turn. So if you're playing a card pool clearing strategy, you could see this being flipped for +2 or 3 damage. That's fine when needed. Overall, I don't really think that this is going to find play as a 2 difficulty foundation. There's only so many 2 difficulty foundations you can play, and this is not one that I see consistently making it in lists. 1 difficulty foundation, commit. This fury attack is +2 speed and -1 damage. In Bakugo 4, this is basically +2/+2, and everybody else is going to be +2 -1. Because of that, I'm going to put it in the C tier. I don't see anybody other than Bakugo 4 playing this. Committing for +2 speed and subtracting a damage. There's better things we could be doing with a 1 difficulty foundation, 3 high block. You know, I mean, we have snack time. That's a repeatable +1 speed and stun 1. And then 2 difficulty foundation, 4 check. Commit after you make a check to play a card. If your rival has discarded a card this combat phase, that check gets +2. So basically this counts as 2 foundations on your offensive turn. But it checks a 4 and it's a 2 diff. I'm going to also put this in the C tier. Really don't see it ever finding play. I have no idea why they hit it with the 4 check instead of a 5 check. We have all sorts of cards that ready themselves. And it's gated to where your rival has to have discarded a card this combat phase. So even if other characters wanted to use it, a lot of others couldn't, unless you're playing like a void discard strategy. I have no idea why they hit it with the 4 check. I'm not into that at all. C tier. 0 difficulty foundation, reluctant role model, 3 low block. Tenacious, so playable while committed. Flip, attack gets -1 damage. That's fine. C+ tier. It's hard to put a 0 difficulty foundation in a C tier. Yeah, there's better things that you could be doing, and on most of these symbols, you could be playing better 0 diffs than this one. So that's going to be it for Bakugo 4's kit. I'm not too happy with the kit personally from a grading perspective. C+, C, C, B-, B-, C, B-, B. So my highest graded card in all of Bakugo's kit is a B. I don't have a single card at B+ or higher. Personally, I am happy with the character. I think he's very, very cool. I am very disappointed with the kit. That's my take. I think the kit is playable in Bakugo 4 and pretty much nobody else. And I like kits that other characters can also pull those cards into their decks, and it has multiple synergies with it. This kit feels way, way too gated to Bakugo 4. All right, now we have Hood Nomu. 5 hand size, 33 health, and he's on Earth, Evil, and Void. I believe Nomu 1 was Earth, Evil, and Death, so they just switched Death for Void. Mill 1, your attack gets +X damage. X equals the difficulty of the top card of your discard pile. So this is normally going to be anywhere from 1 to 6 damage, right? Especially if you're like playing characters. You could, if you're playing like characters in your main board, you could get 6 damage for those, or just be playing a lot of 6 difficulty attacks. You're probably not going to want to be playing a lot of 0 difficulty foundations for this guy. Very, very cool. Probably anywhere from 2 to 6 damage. Strong, you know, very similar to Nomu 1, except in a different method. We're milling from our deck. Commit 1 foundation. After you take damage, draw 1 card and commit 1 rival foundation. So instead of committing a foundation to take damage down to 6, Instead, we're committing to draw and commit one of our rivals' pieces on their turn. Very, very powerful move. There, you know, it would be better if like cards like It Can't Be Fixed were banned, because It Can't Be Fixed doesn't say non-character effect. So Hood Nomu is going to get kind of dunked on by It Can't Be Fixed to a certain extent, but still a very, very strong ability to selectively commit down rival foundations on their turn, and that response is not limited to once or twice per turn. I think he's going to be very, very strong. I'm not quite putting him into the A tier. I'm going to put him in the B plus tier. He's one of these characters where I think he's going to be strong, but I'm hesitant to say so until I sleeve him up and actually play him. All right, his ultra rare attack is Stretching Slam. It is a slam. That's nice. You know, it always kind of upsets me that Decaying Palm Slam had slam in its title and not the slam keyword. Nice here to have slam in the title and the slam keyword. 5 mid 5. Your next attack with a printed difficulty of 6 or greater gets -2 difficulty. That's nice, because you think 5 mid 5, that's not very good stats for a 6 diff, but if you take 6 and -2, it's basically like a 4 diff, and 5 mid 5 is good stats for a 4 diff. Although, you have to have another attack that you're playing at a 6 difficulty, and then you're going to be playing that on a 7, right? And then Enhance Mill 1, this attack is plus X speed. X equals the difficulty of the top card of your discard pile. So this could be like a 7 or 10 speed attack, and then you add on your Nomu. I'm going to put it in the B tier. Actually, the more I'm reading it, it's got Deadlock Stun 4 for the record. The more I'm reading it, I'm kind of thinking B minus. I went ahead and said B, maybe B minus, maybe C plus. I don't see it finding a lot of play, but there are a lot of good 6 difficulty attacks that Nomu has access to on these symbols. You're getting like Prominence Burn, you're getting Decaying Palm Slam, you're getting what's the muscle bash. There's a few really good ones that I'm missing. I am going to just take a second here. Give me 1 sec, and I am going to look these up. All right, he is Evil, Earth, and Void. Probably shouldn't be doing this in the middle of the video, but what can you do? It is bothering me that I can't remember all the 6. Oh, you get Hulking Grimace. There you go. You get Hulking Grimace. Calorie Counter would be an awesome one. Hardened Blitz would be really, really cool. This definitely sets up a Hardened Blitz, giving it the -2 difficulty. You get, Gale Force Punch, Detroit Smash. There's a lot of good 6 difficulty attacks on these symbols. All right, I knew I was missing a ton of them. But B tier, maybe it sees play in Hood Nomu, don't really see it finding play anywhere else. 6 difficulty, Living Spikes, 6 low 6. Add 1 attack from your discard pile to the top of your deck. This matters for Hood Nomu because you're going to be adding a 6 difficulty attack, and then you'll mill it. So basically this attack is a 6 low 12 in Nomu. Villain Enhance, destroy 1 foundation, destroy 1 rival foundation. Your rival may discard 1 card to cancel this ability, and it has Breaker 1. I'm going to put this in the B plus category. You could be taking an attack to put it on top and then to draw it using some sort of foundation enhance that you have. Destroy to destroy a rival foundation feels really nice, or your rival has to discard 1 on a character who is going to be struggling with speed as a 5-hander. I like this attack quite a bit. Definitely not in the A tier. I'm probably being a little too generous saying B plus. It probably should just be B or B minus. All right, 4 difficulty, Berserker Bite. 2 high 3, it is a throw. Flip 1 foundation. After you play this card, all cards get +1 difficulty this turn. This card does not count towards progressive. So on your turn, this doesn't really do anything. It doesn't it doesn't do anything from a practical standpoint because it's not adding itself towards progressive. So the fact that everything's getting +1 difficulty doesn't really matter. It matters in the sense that now Hood Nomu's mills are going to be stronger. And then on defense, you can use this to make your rivals cards have more difficulty as they play them, right? It's like that one evil 2 diff. Can't remember the name right now, but it's the one evil 2 difficulty foundation where all your rivals checks get -1 for the rest of the turn if you discard a momentum after you block with it. Flip 1 foundation is much easier than discarding a momentum. So that is definitely something, but overall I'm going to give it a C+. Don't really see this finding play. In Hood Nomu, it can be very, very powerful, but in other characters, I don't think it's quite there. All right, 3 difficulty, summon Nomus, 3 mid 3. While it's in your discard pile, it gets +2 difficulty. Only really matters for Hood Nomu, right? That it gets a 5 if you mill it. And then enhance, the next card you play gets -2 difficulty. Your rival may commit 2 foundations to cancel this ability. So either this is a 3 mid 3 on a 1 difficulty attack, which is awesome stats, or it's a 3 mid 3 stun 2 on a 3 diff, which is also really nice, and it's a low block. I'm not quite ready to say A tier, but it's definitely B+. I could see this attack finding play in a lot of other characters, and especially, on the, evil ally package of some sort, like Tokoyami or something. Yeah, I can see this finding play in a lot of different places, not just Nomu. 3 difficulty foundation, more power. If your character has the Nomu trait, it gets -1 difficulty. That's nice. I assume Nomu 1 will have the Nomu trait. Form, commit. Your next attack with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater gets -2 difficulty. Okay, so on your turn, this is 2 foundations. Deadlock enhance. Gets +5 speed or +5 damage. I'm not really here for this card. I'm going to put it in the B tier. It's definitely not bad, but it's also not where I want a 3 diff to be. So if you're not Nomu, you're probably not going to be playing this card. Maybe if you're Nomu, you will be playing it. 4 difficulty, ultra regeneration. It does check a 6. Playable committed, flip. After you take 5 or more damage from an attack, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. That feels very, very powerful on defense to stay alive. And tenacious, remove. If you have no ready foundations, add 1 card from your discard pile to your hand. Okay, that is a strong if, right? If you have no ready foundations. It would be kind of cool, like if you're stunned out, to remove this and say, I'm going to go grab a barrier shield, and now I'm going to block. You didn't expect me to be able to block you, but now I'm going to block you and give breaker 2. Something like that. Or I guess you could grab an attack at the end of your rival's attack string just to make sure that you sculpt for your turn. And this card definitely is really strong on like Earth with a card like Tress Cheat Cape, where you can commit to unflip it and then play it again and draw 2 more cards and gain 2 more health. That feels really nice. I'm going to go ahead and give it a B+. It is a 4 difficulty foundations. So far in MHA, we have not really seen any 4 difficulty foundations break through to actually be played. It's hard enough for a 4 diff asset to even get played, even when it's as strong as like League of Villains, for example, canceling your opponent's enhance. So I kind of doubt this will see heavy play, but I definitely see its power used in the right situation. 5 difficulty, dangerous hybrid. It's really a 2 difficulty when you play it as a form. Discard a momentum. This attack is +2 speed or -2 damage, playable or committed. It's a momentum outlet, but it's not a very powerful momentum outlet. I'm going to put this in the C tier. I don't really see it finding play. High end, 1 difficulty, 4 mid. Add this card to your hand. Add 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. Most of the time, I assume you'll be adding high end because it's a 4 block modifier, so it's not very good adding it to your hand to block with. So most of the time, I assume you're just stacking your deck with this, which basically is stacking your deck with a 4 check, right? Because it's a 5 check, but you had to get rid of a ready foundation to do it. So it's basically -1 to the check. And then response, once per turn, tenacious. After you take damage from an unblocked attack, ready this foundation. This is fine. I'm going to put it in the C+ tier. I just don't think it's going to find play over other 1 difficulty foundations on these symbols. It's definitely doing something. It's just not strong enough. I think they were being a little too harsh when they hit this card with a 4 mid block modifier. I think it probably could have just been a 2 mid block modifier and been just fine. The 4 mid was harsh. And that is going to do it for me today. These 2 kits, I was a little disappointed in. C+, C, B+, B, B+, C+, B+, B, B+. I think this probably should have just been a B. I was being a little generous here. Yeah, so there you have it. Not a single card in either of these kits for Hood Nomu or for Bakugo 4 am I putting in the A tier. I am putting Bakugo 4 in the A tier. I think he's very strong just on his face, and I think Hood Nomu could be very strong. I don't think Hood Nomu is probably quite as strong as Nomu 1, but definitely a fun, difference in the offensive mechanic and the defensive mechanic. A little more, I think Hood Nomu, while maybe not more powerful, is more interesting to play. So I will definitely be playing quite a bit of Hood Nomu. and Bakugo 4. I'm excited for their characters. I'm not too excited for their kits. We had Midoriya 5 revealed today, and I am pretty excited about Midoriya 5 and a few characters in his kit, but that video is coming tomorrow, so be on the lookout. I will see you then.